call the roll.
I'd like to call the Zion Park District Board meeting dated June 20, 2024. Commissioner Carlson?
Here.
Commissioner Hermany? Commissioner Pye?
You.
Commissioner President? And just to note that I'm sitting in for Carolyn, or President Rivers until she arrives. I think she's I'll be rejecting. Can we do the, let's please. Welcome, hi, I just met you.
We did, we just met. How you doing?
Yeah, did you have, were you just sitting in or did you have something?
Oh, no.
Address?
Yes,
Oh, okay. So, did you grab it, an agenda on your way in?
I did. So, we have
3 minutes to speak? Timer? So, we would,
ready.
Yeah.
So, I had an issue with Jen downstairs and Eric knows about it. Eric and I had this conversation. So, the problem here is this. I was in the gym and it was hot. It had been hot. It had been hot since I had inquired about the fans because I know there's only 2 fans. So I asked about the remaining fans. And first they told me they were broke. Then they told me they were fixed. But then they were never on. So I got confused. So, and I'm like, I'm a senior. I'm 62, 63 years old. I'm hot. I'm asking to turn the fans on, something simple. So then I made a sarcastic remark and I said, well, you can't keep the fans on. I mean, somebody's going to have to refund me back my membership. I could not believe, because at that moment, and I was talking to Eric at the time, because I actually spoke with Trey, and at first he said they were broken and maintenance was working on it, and he gave me a whole bunch of. So then it got to the point where I really got frustrated. So I was saying, hey, why we can't turn the fans on? I'm hot. It's not a whole lot of people in this gym. Let's get the fans off. If nobody wants to make, let's turn them on. I'm just saying. But then they tell me when I go into the office that they can't turn the fans on because the people who work out, who lift weights, don't want it to be cold in the gym. And I guess I must be chopped liver because clearly I didn't matter. So my problem here is this. And right after that, the next day, because I left, I stormed out the office, and because I was upset. I said, this doesn't make any sense. And I said, when I come back on Wednesday, it should be fixed. I need y'all to fix it. On Tuesday, I got a call from Aaron saying my membership had been refunded. My membership was refunded because of fans? I need somebody to make in here to make that make sense. Anybody, just make that make sense. Because you could have just turned the fans on. You telling me that you're accommodating the people who lift weights, but for me, it doesn't make a difference. And even with Trey, when Trey said that too, and I said, so what day is my day? Because I'm just saying, why aren't the fans on? Now I walked in there, it's a lot cooler in there now. I was in here the other day for something else, and I walked in there, and then I guess the air conditioning is on now. But why was that an issue then? Is what I'm trying to say. Why was my membership refunded? Why was that an issue? I'll listen. I'll wait.
Thank you for standing up and telling us what your problems were, and I don't know the entire situation. And usually when the board has someone come that has a complaint about the facility, we ask them to meet again with the director to work out the situation.
That director right here, Eric?
Yes.
But, and I am happy to talk to you and to answer a couple of your questions real quick. Your money was refunded because you requested that.
I requested it being sarcastic because I said, how long have I been coming here? I have been coming here for a couple of years now. And I pay annually. It's not that I pay monthly, I pay annually. I look for, when you have the special, for me to pay, and I pay it, and I come. I come to this gym at least 3 days a week.
Mm-hmm. But you didn't
request. And being sarcastic, I said, if the fans are not going to be turned on, then maybe I should get my money back. You refunded. When I left out of that office, I said, fix the issue with the fans.
Because when you even suggested, oh, well, we could probably refund your money, which made no sense either. Because you're saying, I'd rather refund you your money than turn on some fans. That never made any sense to me. Me being an African American woman, I don't know, can you not see this color? And I'm a senior, I'm 62, so I'll be 63, and I'm a woman. So three things going on here. And yet you're telling me that the reason you don't have fans on is because the people who lift weights don't want to be the gym to be cold? Come on now, make it make sense.
But we have all kinds of people in the gym at any time. We have a whole diverse population
And there are people
that use it, right?
Right.
And so I understand that everyone's preference is different. So, the demographics you explained really have nothing to do with that.
Sure.
Because we have a lot of different people that work out in there. So I'm happy to talk with you about it again. We'd love to have you back.
Let's talk about it again.
We'll talk about it offline. We can schedule an appointment anytime you'd like.
Tomorrow. Let's do it.
Let's do that.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's schedule an appointment tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let's talk
I'd
about
love to have you come back because you and I always had good conversations for months. So I was sad when you were upset.
We had an issue that could have been easily fixed. Turn some things around.
Right, but if that fixes the issue for you though, it could
Well, it could fix the issue. Wait a minute.
Right.
But they fans. They just fans. Which means you can turn them on and you can turn them off. Right? So they're just fans. So that's what I'm saying. Because when Tammy was here, when she was in here, we didn't have that problem. She seemed to accommodate just about everybody, anybody in the gym. If they wanted the fans on, she turned them on. If they wanted them on, she turned them on. Or she asked people that was in the gym, is it okay if we turn them down or turn them off or whatever the case might be? She asked people within the gym. You guys are not asking anybody right now. You all act like you don't even care. I've talked to Mary.
No, we do. We do ask.
I've talked to Mary. I've talked to some people from the school because I've been in the what do you call it? The locker room, the women's locker room, and they come in there. They even suggested to me, they brought up the comment to me, was it not hot in there? And I said yes, but it seems like every time I complain, they tell me I'm the only one complaining. And so I told her, I said, so you guys got to start complaining. And again, older women, my skin. And we're going to go back to that. Older women, my skin. And we're fighting this, and we shouldn't be. And that's what I'm saying. We have this, and I say this, we have this, whereas we have the Black Leisure Center. I know y'all heard it. It's not and the White Leisure Center. And it seems like that's how you guys want to keep it because there's no way my membership should have ever been refunded over some fans. I can tell you that. I work in leadership.
I'm happy.
I work in leadership, and we would not have done that to any client, any customer or client with us. So let's meet and talk about this again. Yeah, let's try this one more time. Okay, no problem.
Tomorrow, are you available?
Tomorrow, right?
Okay. What time's it? 9, 10?
Oh, let's do tomorrow.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
Thank you, we do appreciate you coming and with.
I hope it can get resolved.
Let's go on to the agenda. Is anything changing on the agenda?
Nope, no changes to the agenda.
Motion that the agenda is as. Carlson? Aye. Aye. Okay, commissioners' comments. I do want to say a couple things. As I was coming into the building, I had a car that was coming around the corner really quick and kind of like waved to me. And I rolled down the window and it was Al Hill.
Oh, yeah.
And he said that I asked if I was coming to the meeting, and I said I was. And he said, I want you to tell everybody here, the staff, the director, that he had never seen the park district work so good. It was better than with you in charge.
Yeah.
So I wanted to relay that. So we just want to make sure that staff knew that, and
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'll pass it on to the staff as well.
then also I want to just notice I know that we're putting new parks up, new parks, the Shiloh, which is looking fantastic, and the little park in my neighborhood, I see it going up, and I'm very excited about that.
Mhm.
It's all that, so I just want to say the notes and everything, all the work you've done.
Yeah, great, thank you. I'll pass it on to
That's
staff.
something good. Can't wait to get the granddaughter at it.
Yeah, hopefully by the end of next week.
The other commissioners now?
I even have a concert
Tonight.
raise.
Raising that rate.
Was it drizzling when you came in?
Cold.
It's a lot of people out there now.
Oh, yeah.
It is. Yeah.
I got trained in the open house that wasn't like once I had but time to know everyone. It was really nice.
Good, yeah, I thought it was nice. The weather was perfect.
Yes,
Yeah, Jesse, you're right. I have to say that was a really nice evening.
yeah.
Alan did a great job. That putting green looks really amazing. So that was, it really, I totally forgot to mention that. That was good. If we have nothing else, let's move on to the reports.
Nope, nothing from our attorney.
And for the treasurer's report, I'm going to entertain a motion to approve expenditures for May 2024 in the amount of $341,734.97. I didn't know if you would like to.
Correctly.
Commissioner Carlson?
Aye.
Aye. The director's report.
Okay, so it is June, and our busy summer season is here. The Park District is in full swing. As I mentioned during the finance meeting, we have about 180 employees currently active on payroll. We've hired a lot of the local youth in the community and older people as well. So we really range in age of employees from as young as 16 to as old as 70. So it's a massive undertaking to bring on that many people in a short period of time to get them all trained and geared up to, conduct all the fun programs and all the facilities that we have throughout the summer. So our full-time staff have been working incredibly hard. And so it's great to hear feedback like that from, former director Al Hill, and just other people that we talk to throughout the community.
When I came earlier today, there was a van or a bus. My father's, and there was kids. Were they picking up trash, or what was their capacity? Okay, that was part of that. Gotcha. Anything else?
Yeah, the last thing I also wanted to touch on.
You guys, you do that.
Yeah.
Because I looked here 25 years ago, we started that program.
So you didn't make the
No, I chose a kid around in the golf club.
So I also wanted to make the board aware of an EduCare Lake County facility that's being built in Zion. I'm not sure if you've heard about this or not. It's a private foundation that is constructing an early Head Start EduCare facility over there between Shiloh Park Middle School and Zion Central Middle School. They're going to build this facility, which is going to be about a $25 million facility. They're going to build it on District 6 property. It's going to be operated and funded by, again, a private donor and a private group. The interim superintendent who was there for a while, Jim McKay, really spearheaded that effort. And I've been involved in some of the different project meetings and things that they have, just so we're aware of kind of the build. It's because it's just to the south of Shiloh Golf Course there. And they're still going through different concepts and designs to finalize it. They are moving pretty fast on it, though. The city is involved a little bit with it as far as a partnership just because of how the land has to work. I guess private donors can build on school land, so the city's involved a little bit. But, it's a really exciting project for our community. May create some partnership opportunities with the Park District that we will certainly get to know those people.
Usually what is it?
Yeah, that's my understanding. $25 million facility, all raised with private. We would not create any tax revenue or anything like that. Yeah, they're expecting or they're hoping to break ground in the fall. They're still, again, going through like the permitting phase, finalizing some of their design, what the building is going to look like, exactly how it's going to be situated. Yeah, it may, and I also want to make the park board aware of it too. It may require, if stormwater management requires a detention area, they may ask for the park district to use a little bit of Shiloh Golf Course there, which would be out of the fairway, out of play. But otherwise, just with the small footprint that they're trying to put this building in, stormwater management may say you need some detention area. And so if the park board would agree to it, we would allow them to have that detention on a small area of Shiloh Golf. So I just want to make you aware of that now, that request may come in the future.
I think that will become to a family that's good floods.
Yeah. Right. And any.
Reason why I know because I moved it underwater back in 2000 and I used to work for you guys where I was in motorhomes.
Yeah, that's exactly what the Lake County Stormwater Management Commission does, right? Anytime there's a building where it used to be an open grass field and now you paved it, they want to be sure that there's somewhere for that stormwater to go. So, other thing I just wanted to mention about our Memorial Day celebration.
We have to move the fence.
Would we have to move the fence?
Yeah.
I can't say for certain yet, Jess. It's just not that far along.
Because I was thinking.
I mean, they wouldn't build anything on our property. What they would be asking for is just a detention type area.
Because we moved the fence on your property. So it happens to be our open. Happens to be our yours.
The detention area?
Yeah.
It's hard to say how the design is going to finalize and how big stormwater management is going to require them to make that area.
One of the days of us, the business, their home was a lot.
Right. I don't know. You know, that might be something when we get to that point, we can either negotiate with them or mention. Right. So yeah, just I know it was May 27th, it was almost 3 weeks ago now, where we had our Memorial Day, or I should say, we hosted the Memorial Day celebration at our Veterans Memorial Park, right? American Legion ceremony. I thought the park was in great condition. It looked really nice for the day's events. It was a really, respectful ceremony and nice looking venue that we are in the United States. That is it for me.
Question about that matter. Sent to Councilman Shaw. Is that just based off of from the
That was
what is the purpose of this?
that letter is in support of, so District 6 had to apply as part of to bring that early head start building because really they could have located it almost anywhere in Lake County. And so District 6 and the people at design and administration, that's supporting
Building.
yeah.
Oh,
That's the support of the
okay.
new building to bring it to our yeah.
And that's all for your report.
That is all.
Okay. So we're going to go on to new business. Okay. About that before. Yeah. So we're going to open the public hearing 9/12 for the 2024-25 budget and comments from audience I'll,
So move.
I'm sorry, the what?
What was the order?
It's the, budget appropriation ordinance for the.
Oh, that's just the.
Yeah, it's posted on our website, it's available for public inspection.
Commissioner Carlson?
Aye.
Aye. So now that it's posted, I would like to entertain a motion for the adoption of ordinance number 2012
So move.
Carlson?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Number 11, approval of the Shiloh Park change order, well, excavation.
So I think the board should be familiar with what this is. We had sent out an email on it. This is to backfill and excavate the court area at Shiloh Park, which will become the basketball courts, tennis courts, pickleball courts. We knew that the soil there was unstable because we did soil core testing prior to the project beginning. But they only did limited core testing, and so we knew that, what we didn't want to say in the bid when we did the whole project was that the entire thing needed to be excavated, and then really cost ourselves to over excavate and get a larger bid than necessary. So what we did was hold a contingency of about $180,000 for the project contingency, knowing that once they got into actually starting to scrape the soil, they would know exactly how much they needed to do. So the amount of the change order came to the amount of $125,102.64. So that is for them to excavate the necessary amount of soil.
Is that listed in here somewhere? I couldn't find the amount.
Backfill was sown. I think it might just be in my paragraph.
Because I thought it said 180.
180 was our total contingency that we
Okay, number?
had. 125, 102. If there's no questions on that, and this will be the second time that you've seen it.
Change order one, soil excavation and $125,000.
Yeah, go to Shiloh Park change for one, soil excavation and backfill. $125,902.
Second,
Second.
Carlson?
Aye.
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 Aye. And we have the approval of a letter intent for Sigma Renewable for battery storage system.
Yep, so I really just wanted to gauge the board's interest on this before we put a whole lot of time in trying to move this in this direction. We were contacted by a company called Sigma Renewables, and they are potentially interested in leasing approximately 10,000 square feet of space out by the Kedron garage area to basically build a battery site, like a battery storage system. So think of it as maybe like a boxcar or train car sized battery that it would store energy from the power grid. So initially when I heard about it, I thought it was like to get rid of old batteries and stuff like that. But that's not what it is. It's a brand new like functioning battery that will store energy from the grid. Sigma would build this storage system. They would maintain it. We have asked questions about like what if it were even to get damaged or graffiti or anything like that. They would maintain that. They would pay us potentially right now, you know, a fee of what would be about $20,000 per year as like a leasing fee. We talked to other districts that are interested in this as well. Nobody is really too far down the path on this, but Waukegan Park District is looking at implementing 2, possibly 3 of these storage sites. Rich and I had conversations with the people at Sigma to just kind of fully understand what the initiative is, what our obligations would be. The site they've identified at this point is the same site where the solar field will be built. However, the solar field site does not have, their agreement does not encompass the full amount. So we could potentially, they are interested in getting the full amount, they're still working through some stuff. But we haven't agreed to let them have the full amount. So we could say, no, keep the agreement for the solar field as is. We're gonna use this additional capacity for the battery storage. There's still a lot to be worked out. This is just really early on. Our attorney at Ansel Blink is reviewing this letter of intent. He came back with a couple questions, which I forwarded on to Sigma. They just got me those answers like 4 o'clock today, so I forwarded it back on to Scott at Ansel Blink. So I guess what I'd be asking for is if our attorney is comfortable with the letter of intent, which is a non-binding letter, it doesn't bind us. If our attorney is comfortable with it, is the park board comfortable or okay with me signing it to continue moving along in the process? Thanks. Yeah, I do think it's worth pursuing because I think what's great is you're talking about a 10,000 square foot space, which is really not that large, and it generating $20,000 of revenue.
And will it obstruct a view for somebody, will it?
In the space where they've identified, that space is kind of behind trees and not really in like somebody's yard or like a neighborhood or anything like that. So the space that they've identified, which I understand why too, because it's close to the power grid. But it would not be an eyesore.
Is there what's the downside to this? Is there a danger to people living in the area?
No, and they've been trying to work with different park districts in Illinois because they know park districts have the most land, right? Dowie just kind of more close to space and different space.
And they're collecting this energy to sell, correct?
Yes, that's my understanding. They're storing it off of the power grid and then kind of like selling it back to the right.
And surrounded with required security. Stuff or
This site that they're currently targeting actually is fenced off, and because it is going to be within the area of vicinity of that solar field, it would be secure. This is the first one that they're looking
no addition would be security we have.
at. Right,
Defense.
right.
But I that moving forward to see what that looks like.
Yeah.
Because I know that been more revenue, like when we took up the towers,
Right.
the phone towers,
Right.
there's been quite a bit of revenue
Yeah.
because of our district.
Yeah.
So I guess moving forward and not officially saying we'll do it.
Right.
We know all the details.
Right. And we could ask, and we could do something similar to, if you remember that individual came off on the solar field and
Yes.
gave the presentation to the board about exactly what it was and it was about the questions. I would request, something like that as well, to represent the company, attend the park board meeting, give this presentation, answer board questions before they were signed on or said, that's not where we're at.
And the lease price. Is that vetted to anybody?
Yeah,
I mean, is that something they just threw out or?
No, I think that's their standard price. And I'm going to talk to the Waukegan Park District as well about that. These guys really, they kind of know what their models are, and they kind of know how much each thing will generate, whether it's a solar field or something like that. They kind of make like the cash flows work. They don't give a whole lot on that. We'll ask for our typical like inflation rider that we kind of ask for. It's $20,000 now. It's not going to be the same as $20,000 15 years from now. Yeah, they're going to want a 20-year, I believe.
And then, I guess another thing, when that 20 years are over, are they getting their stuff out of there and not leaving it
Right,
for us to have to clean up,
right, good question.
right?
Right. Yeah, I think they could potentially be interested in building more than one. I don't know, that's a good question. I know that area that we have on like Penguin is like the for this and solar field type development. So close to
You know, backyard, right, you have one
Right.
place to store.
yeah, you would think they'd kind of be more efficient in a similar vicinity. But yeah, a lot of good questions. Actually, this was kind of quick on their initial contacting us, and they just thought, well, if we don't kind of get it passed, or I want to gauge your interest now as opposed to waiting 4 weeks.
No, I want to
It would be if they were to build a second. That's why, like I said, Waukegan Park District is looking at it. Yeah, I mean, these are all new initiatives. They're all new things with energy efficiency and solar energy.
How long did this, how long did it all?
I
They do this stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't got that far into the process with them. I know they've worked with other park districts because when I told them I was going to send it on to our attorney, he said, "Oh, we're familiar with that law firm. They represent a lot of park districts."
Oh, I guess I'd like to entertain a motion for approval of the letter of intent with Sigma Renewable Better Storage System to move forward with the process, the inquiry process.
Aye.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
Okay, oh, you,
Yes, yes.